This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
So originally, you want the full story?
Okay, full of blooper reel. Let's go. Let's get full story.
So the full story is Stacy got it, and I was gonna wear it, possibly during certain kind of interaction.
Did you know this before you?
I never did.
Did you know that was the intention?
That's what I used it for, bro.
I never did though. I tried it on with some boxers on or whatever, some stuff underneath, and I tried it on and I couldn't. It just wouldn't fit me, and I thought about giving it to you for your dollar, but I was like, nah, Jared ain't gonna fuck with this. I was like, there's no way there's no way I could talk Jared into this. So I was like, I'll offer it to Isaiah, and he took it. So,
dude,
just zips up in the front.
It's not.
I was gonna have it unzipped most of the time.
Hey, all right. You forget that I know your girlfriend, and don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
I didn't ask for this. She brought it to me and said, "Hey."
I don't need to know this about Stacey. I don't need to know that she watches the Care Bears and be like,
I don't think that's how it started. I think it's just
all right.
The opportunity presented itself.
I'm gonna ask this question, and I don't really want to answer, but I have to. So, did any of this have to do with the Dave Chappelle not shooting love out of your chest, but shooting love onto someone's chest?
That might have been the reason why I thought, hey, we could do this. But no, that's not a. Yeah,
that wasn't a part of the initiative.
That wasn't why it was acquired. It was acquired because, hey, look at this. I found this. And then I was like, we could do some stuff with that.
Of all the things, like I've tried or suggested, I never.
I could probably have zipped it up, but I'm too tall for it. So like I'd had it bent over, and I'm just too tall for it.
Look like Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
That's the one she should have bought. What is TWS podcast episode whatever? Who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rants of the vindicated. It's my podcast. I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live? It's not working for me, Rich. Alright, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast? Ready. I feel like I'm staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts. How many tries to take? Damn ready. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, welcome back to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy J. Flan, representing the White Pants Society. See the sign. And I have with me again the homies. No, we are not wearing the same clothes. It just happened to be the same day we recorded multiple things in the same day. So stop judging. But I do have BBMF. Is it BB? What is it? No, MFC. There we go. Chad. You gotta put like fantasy football champion Chad in there somewhere.
I gotta
too many letters.
Yeah.
FFFCC.
And we got the dude younger than the games I play. That did trip me out. Like I was playing Live 95 and I did the math. I was like, I said, wasn't even born when this shit came out.
Shit.
Do you remember Live 95?
Live 95. No. What was that game where you had like the big heads, NBA Jam?
NBA Jam. Was
you around for NBA Jam? Probably not, because I was in the arcade for NBA Jam.
No, I've seen them like in the bins, the retro, old bins.
Throwback.
That's a game cast? The DreamWorks?
NBA Jam was fun though. It wasn't like authentic, but it was fun.
It was fun. He's on fire.
It's heating up.
From long distance. I was never any good at that game. I don't know why. But, it's that time of the year. And since I have you gentlemen here, I figured this would be a perfect time for us to have this candid, in-depth conversation. We'll see where it goes. It's getting close to Valentine's Day. Which makes me think about how lonely I am. I'm just
we need to have that Care Bear talk again.
Now, if it requires a uniform like that, I'm good.
I'm just talking about maybe you need to edit that segment in because it fits right to the Valentine's Day theme.
I'm using the segment.
It livens up the mood.
Look out for the Care Bear story video. I don't know if it's going to be part of this or it's going to be somewhere else.
It's got to be part of the Valentine's Day arrangement.
It might be like the snippet I put to get you to watch the video. Right?
That's cool.
check. This is what we talked about before the cameras, before the shit even started. So you can imagine what we talk about then. But let's be serious though. Let's talk about love. I hate how the TV on is fucking with the lighting. I worked very hard at this lighting. I hope this works.
Game's over.
Game's over. Man, it came as alright. We're gonna kill that. Boom. Let's talk about love, gentlemen. We got, I'm out. I'm done.
Out the game.
I'm done. I'm out the game. Fuck it. I'm not interested anymore. You in a situation. You recently disappointed. You recently, I ain't even gonna put your business out there, but you Zay Fitness. How do you define? How do you look at love? Anybody can take it.
I don't know. She gonna cut for me.
She gonna cut for you.
In a more of a, not necessarily I don't want her out there cutting people, but she gonna cut for me. She gonna be there, thick and thin, when I need her, or she gonna run.
Zay, what you? I should let you go first so we could just trash whatever answer you give for being young. Shit about love.
Two people in a union that grow together.
You don't know shit about that. Give me that vanilla ass answer.
I keep it simple because I still been trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, apparently, obviously I thought I had it at one point. I sat down and made the decision if this is the last woman I ever am going to be with, I'm cool with that, And that didn't work out. So, at one point I felt like it was...
Probably didn't work out well for her either, though.
It didn't. It didn't. I ain't going to lie.
She probably don't know what...
I don't know. I have no idea what it was like to live with me. I can only imagine. Y'all have actually lived with me, but not when I was that dude. Y'all don't know that guy. But I'm sure it didn't work. But in my mind, when I said them vows, it's me and you against the world forever, regardless.
It's kind of what I mean when I said when she cut for me. It's like, gotta trust them, gotta know that shit gets real. Fucking, they're gonna be there.
That would be that is my courtship right now. If I was to ever get in a relationship, to me that would be the whole thing. It would be, I meet you, we vibe a little bit, don't need to take long. As long as I know this vibe. If I can look you in the eye one day and me and you, forever, alright, bet. Just an agreement. I just need to know, regardless what happens. It's like I said, me and you against the world. I used to wake up in the middle of the night and just reach over and touch her, just to know that she was there, and that was enough to calm me down and go back to sleep. Everything was cool, but I don't even know if that shit exists anymore. You still out there in the game? Are women even looking for forever thing type situation?
I don't know.
Not now. I don't know. I guess they are, but I think there's some time in the between. You get them right after high school that they want to. Some of them want to, right after college. Some of them want to settle down and find what you're talking about, and then you go about 20-year gap, and then maybe they start again.
Yeah, at 22, I've seen peers at my age get engaged, get married, cancel engagements, have kids, and I don't know. That doesn't seem to attract me, settling down at a young age. But I do know, kind of similar to what you were saying, Jared, it's a vibe. It has to be an agreement. The matrimony, that whole construct, that doesn't even mean anything. The person that I call my soulmate, I know I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and it doesn't have to have any legal or...
Soulmate something that happens or something that's already there.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, you all know who my significant other is, and she takes care of me good. I have no complaints. But at the beginning, we weren't. Neither one of us would have said that either one of us would be each other's soulmates.
Yeah.
It's kind of grown probably to that where we depend on each other and we try to look out for each other to that level. But like in the beginning, that's not how it was. It's something that just happened and formed over time. So I always had a theory that like soulmates would be something more. Something was just somebody that's already the way they are out there that I'm just gonna walk across one day, look them in the eye, and say, "Oh shit, we're together." But I don't think that's. I don't necessarily know that's how it is.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I hate.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, it's the union. You grow together. You guys are completely two different people, but together y'all are one, or become one.
At least when when like I was trying to find that person, like I deal with a lot of women who felt like that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, I'm supposed to meet you, and then like you just instinctively know everything, know how to treat me, and know what to do. I don't want to, I don't want to have to tell you. I was the type of dude to be like, look, like I'm awkward around women. If you tell me, if you tell me how you want to be treated, I'll treat you that way. But don't think I just know, I just look, oh yeah, she wants these kind of flowers, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. Like, nah. But if I ask, I'll ask you what's your favorite flower, what's your favorite color, all that type of shit, Like, I think 50 Cent had a line, it was like, I'll treat you how you want to be treated, just teach me how. But I would say that to women, and they'd be like, nah, the right person would already know. Fuck out of here. Like, stop. What?
That's not real.
Yeah, like, stop.
That's not real.
It's fairy tale stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, I think I
told
told
y'all. Been
y'all.
planning a marriage since she was 6 years old.
I told you I was in like a Twitter Spaces thing the other day with like some young, and I'm assuming they're young because they was like talking about zodiac symbols and other dumb shit. But like their idea of marriage sounded a lot like they, to them, like marriage was, it didn't make sense. Like they were asking like, why would you even get married, or what is marriage, and what like that kind of stuff, and that like just caught me off guard. Like you expect, the way I grew up, like it was almost women were the ones who wanted to get married, and they needed to convince you somehow, to take that step. And that's like, this group of young women who's like, marriage don't make sense. Why would I ever do that?
I mean, it's a social construct. It's an expectation set on society. And I think it shaped a lot of people's outlook and goals for life. But the current climate of the world, people are, asking more questions, finding themselves. And that whole concept of marriage and getting into a legal agreement just to have a paper that says this is your legal companion, is that necessary? Is that really what constitutes as love, or is it something deeper than that? Is it something that doesn't have to be, you don't gotta go to a church, have a priest marry you, or is it just something, an agreement between people? And it's as deep as that. I think understanding.
The love thing is an agreement between people, and I feel like marriage was sort of a step you took to make it official, because it's easy to make that agreement. It's easy to say to somebody, I'm with you forever.
Right.
But now, if I say I'm with you forever, knowing that there are legal consequences to me deciding I'm not with you forever no more, that it's not that easy to get out of. Like, if you just had that agreement with somebody, people walk away from shit way too easy these days. Like a perfect example, my aunt and uncle. My uncle's passed. My aunt's still here. Like, and I hope every time I say something crazy about somebody, that's the one episode they ever listen to. So I'm sorry, auntie. But like they grew up in a generation where divorce was not an option. Right? And I'm not saying that they ever wanted to get divorced, but as long as I knew them, they couldn't stand each other. Like they fucking hated each other. I mean, they had matching lazy boy chairs in the living room, and they, like, you knew that this was her chair and this was his chair, and that's where they sat every day in the living room. And one day my cousin gets a call, and it's my aunt, and she's on the phone frantic. He's sitting in my chair. Like, why would he do that? Why would he? And he lived for just finding something to do to like piss her off or irritated her. And she was mad as hell. Like, he's sitting in my chair. Why would he do that? And my cousin was like, go sit in his lap. I bet you get up. And it's like, but they stayed married, because that's, like, that was that level commitment. I don't really think without the institution of marriage, without that legal thing or that religious thing, or whatever it is you put behind that ceremony, I think without that, yeah, it's an agreement that's way too easy to get out of.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if like examples like that, if they, have animosity towards each other, and that agreement's holding them or forcing them to stay together because of that societal pressure, that's like, in my opinion, that's kind of a sad situation.
I
But
don't know, maybe it's easier to have, whether it's a healthy situation or not. I can't say, but like maybe having that other person there for some people is enough.
mhm.
Having somebody there, because it's hard paying bills on one salary, and paying a mortgage. And sometimes I think it revolves around settling. You might not have that connection, but at the same time, you settling and you make it easier for you on your day-to-day life.
But then, I mean, like, I don't think there's any situation you're ever going to be in where it's always good. Like,
No.
all relationships are going to go through a patch where, like, maybe if I didn't have this hook to this person, I'd walk away.
At least your aunt knew what she was getting. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't have that situation where, like, just one day that person's not going to be there anymore, or one day that person you're going to find that person in bed with somebody else, or she knows what she's getting from the start. And some people would rather, I think,
It's like security, emotional security.
be secure and know what they're going to have, rather than step out there on a ledge and possibly fall off that ledge.
But that was part of it for me. Like, is that security. Like, I know I'm not in any situation alone.
Mhm.
And it, like, simplified my life for me. Because prior to getting married, like, to me, there was so much. There was so many people to be almost accountable to. Like, I had to, if I'm out there looking for somebody, then I need to be attractive to as many people as possible. So I got to consider what you like. I got to be thinking about all this kind of stuff. And that's probably not the way to go about it. But that's the way my overthinking, prone to addiction mind was doing. But once I got married, it was like I didn't have to worry about none of that. Like, the only person I ever had to worry about if they was okay with the decision I was making was her. If I was doing something, if I was changing jobs, if I was buying this or whatever I was wearing, whatever. If you like it, you good, then I'm good. And it just simplified my life. I only had this one person, to ever be accountable to. And it's like, I don't know. Like,
I guess my opinion's kind of taboo, but I mean, it's just, if you want monogamy, do it, but that should be the commitment between people. And at that point, like, if I was in a monogamous relationship, okay, we can get married, but the marriage shouldn't be the dictation of what we are, and that sacrament of love. But again, for some people it is symbolic, like, the wedding ring, the ceremony, that can show that emotional connection. For others, like back to Eddie Murphy in Raw, I think it was. It's that half. I want half.
them foo-foo.
Them prenups, man.
I mean, getting married to me was the difference between talking about it and being about it. Like, I could say to her every day, I'm with you, I love you. It's like getting married was saying, I'm saying in front of God, in front of your friends and family, in front of my friends and family, that it's me and you, for better or for worse, in sickness and health. Like, I'm making a commitment to you publicly in front of people. The legality of it didn't even cross my mind. We live in Texas, ain't no alimony here. But but yeah, the legality of it never even crossed my mind. Like, divorce never even crossed my mind. This was just like making it official, like saying to everybody,
You talk about
it's not my girlfriend, it's my wife.
You talk about saying it in front of people. That's where I'm different than a lot of people. Like, I believe all that stuff, your vows, all that sweet stuff you say to each other. I say that's stuff that should, like, if I ever get married, it's not going to be with 300 people. I might have 2 or 3 of my closest friends there, my mom, my brother, my sister, something like that. But I'm not trying to, all that makes it more intimate and more serious and more whatever. Like, people that have weddings with 300 people, you just, like, for me, that's just somebody trying to show out. They ain't really, all those sweet things you say and vows, that should all be kept. It's more special if it's kept between you and the person you're marrying.
Yeah, it was only 17 people at my wedding.
I think weddings are a sham, to be honest with you, just to spend money and let people see how you live.
Yeah.
And the bigger cake you got and all that stuff, you don't need all that for love. You just need you, that person, maybe a couple close family friends, and that's it.
Yeah, a lot of people want the day. They want that day. When a marriage is really everything that happens after that day. But they want, and that it's over so fast. Like, you wake up in the morning, you got so much to do, the next thing you know, you're married, and that wedding is over. And now it's like, now you got to do the shit. Like, now you actually got to.
And you got $10,000 loan out for that wedding.
Not if you only have 17 people. Get married in Texas, go to the Wizard Academy.
The where?
The Wizard Academy.
You went to the Wizard Academy for your wedding?
Yeah. It says the Wizard Academy has this thing called Chapel Dulcinea or whatever. And it was the guy who built it to like encourage people to get married. So it's really on a cliff. It's out in like the deep springs. Is it deep springs? Or dripping springs.
Oh.
It's out in like the dripping springs. It's a real nice spot. It's real small. Like I said, we only had 17 people there, and it's free. You got to put up like a $200 deposit to hold it. But if you show up, they give you your $200 back. Unfortunately for me, my wife thought somebody from my party was picking up the money, and I thought somebody from her party was picking up the money. Nobody picked up the money, so we donated $200 to the Wizard Academy.
It's not a bad thing to do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they let you use the spot.
I wanted my fucking $200, bro. It's $200. You know what I could do with $200?
Using that one ply, trying to get that.
Right, you wonder why I'm using one ply. I'm still hurting from that $200.
It's messed up.
But all right, so on the topic of love, you said something very emotionally responsible earlier today. I'll let you decide whether or not you want to share it or not. But like, why do you think men cheat?
I don't know. My brother is the type, like, men are wired, like, different guys are wired differently. And I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but like don't get me wrong, fucking that word you were talking about earlier that you don't like saying, it's a wonderful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's great, but I'm not gonna.
Pussy is the word he's referring to.
I'm not gonna shame it at all. But the thing is, like, there's some dudes out there that it controls their life to the extent to where, like, they'll be driving a broke down car across the county at 3:00 in the morning and running out of gas just to get it. I'm not gonna go through that much trouble. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And I think some dudes are just wired differently.
Yeah, I think that word, for some people, I think for men in general, like, well, not that word, but women, and focusing on women.
Can we just
putting
say sex? Like, we could just call it.
Sex, women, like, putting energy into that. It needs to, like anything, it needs to have balance. And for some people, they let that get out of balance, and it does consume and distract them from reaching their potential. Even, it doesn't have to be that deep, but just, the focus is too much on that one goal. The other things suffer. But to answer your question, why do men cheat? I think, some men, they have, I know for me, I've cheated in the past. I was a very lustful youth, and not knowing how to define love or what a relationship was, not respecting or being honest about commitments. I just felt it was more, it's pretty much just being selfish. Like, I felt it was more just, pleasing myself, and what I did not know was, like, the gravity it would have on those around me or the specific people I hurt. But I think it's just, not realizing that, being selfish would harm others, and having a very, lustful mindset.
I don't think that people that cheat worry about anything of what he just said. I think that's the reason why they cheat. What he said is absolutely accurate. It's accurate what he said, but I don't think none of those thoughts go through their head when they're doing it.
I was the dude that told on myself. Maybe
I for the record haven't cheated. I've cheated very lightly in my life on any standard, very lightly, and it hasn't been since back in my drinking days.
See how you doing the Donald Trump hand when he said it? Very lightly.
It hasn't been since back in my drinking days, and I guess nobody got hurt because nobody ever found out. But for me, anytime it ever happened, would be everybody's partying at a bar, drinking. A whole bunch of people go back to the crib, keep on drinking, and something happens. You know,
So you was an accidental cheater. Like you just slipped into it.
I with a little bit of alcohol,
You just fell into it a little bit.
just fell into a little bit of pee.
Nah, I mean,
But that's been 10, 15, in my early 20s.
yeah. I cheated, not while I'm married. Like, I definitely, I respect the institution of marriage, and I took that very serious. Like being a husband, was like the greatest accomplishment of my life at the time. Probably being a father now superseded that since I'm no longer married. But and I guess
I wouldn't want to hurt somebody that way. And I haven't always thought like that, but I've always had a pretty good standard of, I just don't want to hurt somebody like that, especially if they're really, if like me and my girl now, we've been together a long time, and that would hurt her, and I don't really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Patrice O'Neal had the whole thing where he was like, cheating is a grown man sneaking out of his own house to go find some happiness on the side so that her feelings don't get hurt.
My main reason for not doing it is I feel like it's too much work to keep up those lies.
It is.
It's a lot of work.
I wouldn't say that I don't lazy, but I wouldn't want to try to keep up that kind of lie. And I mean, the main thing is not to hurt my significant other, but also
Yeah, it was definitely something to learn from, seeing the effect it had. Recently, that same situation, not really the same situation, but being in a relationship and having those temptations, and then me being real with myself, knowing I have hurt someone before, I have not respected a commitment before. That was a red flag for me. So I know that I'm not going to stay in a relationship if I know my actions are going to lead to something else, because I want to learn from it. I don't want to hurt anyone else, and if I commit to someone monogamy and I go outside of that, the honest thing would be to not be in a monogamous relationship.
you're young. You shouldn't probably be in too many, maybe here and there, but you're young. Me and Jared's already passed this, but at least me for whatever.
I'm put my jersey up next to the neon sign.
Jared's retired, but I'm got different, I guess, goals. My focus has shifted over the years. I never thought, when I was your age, I never thought it would. I never really thought it would. I had a specific type, specific goals, all that stuff, and they've shifted over the years, to where it's just changed for me.
Yeah. And when I did cheat, I think it was an ego thing. Like, it wasn't even about, I like you said, I wasn't thinking about, hurting anybody or who would get hurt or if somebody would get hurt. I figured, I was one of them die with the lie type person. Like, you'd have to walk in the middle of it for me to be like, all right, you got me. Other than that, it's like, nah, it didn't happen. I was shaggy.
I did not.
I was straight shaggy. It wasn't me. I was, whatever you thought you saw, it wasn't me. But it was like a straight ego thing. Like, I was a late bloomer, and when I got to the age where I realized like there were women that were attracted to me, it's like I got and to me, like, the only way to know for sure that that you could get it is to get it. And so like it would be an ego thing. Like, I want to know if I can do this, and the only way to know if I can do it is to do it. And so, and then once it's done, it's like, oh well, appreciate you.
Wham bam, thank you, man.
But yeah, I never did, and I did, man. I did some horrible. I don't even want to snitch on myself, but I can remember walking a girl out of my apartment past the car where my girlfriend was sitting in, and like praying that like she ain't see me.
Did she?
No.
What the fuck you mean is that?
I have no idea.
Black magic.
No idea.
Did see you in the shadows?
Do one of those. But
Man, I'm at that point now. It's just honesty. If I want to mess around and have fun, why not be straight up about that from the jump. And then if it happens, it happens. If it's to be, it's to be. But I've just learned in the past couple years, there's no point in sugarcoating things or trying to, lie about motives. I mean, I'm not trying to be in no tied down relationship. If you're not either, cool. But if at some point you start catching feelings, and that's happened too, like,
I don't think it's possible. I think everybody who plays that whole like, this is casual, I'm just in it.
One person's always gonna catch
one person is, but it ain't gonna be me.
What you say? Like, nothing.
We need to give him a shirt with a disclaimer on it.
You can tell me, y'all dudes, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but nothing hurts worse than like if you do have sex with a girl, you do go there with a girl, and she's able to just walk away from you. Like, that shit is not cool.
I'm a pretty jealous person.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you say you're not trying to catch feelings, you still don't want nobody to be able to, be that way with you, and then the next day you just back to Joe Blow, like you nobody again. Like,
I had a girl one time that she was I known her for years as like a friend of the group or whatever, and then for a wedding party, I got with her. She's one of the maid of honors, and I got with her during this wedding party. And after the wedding was over, she called me or I called her. We were talking on the phone a couple days later, and I might have let it slip to say baby to her, and she's like, "Chad, I'm not your baby." And that right there kind of clicked for me. Like, oh, this isn't going nowhere. I'm in this a little deeper than she is. That was one of those moments.
No, I had somebody that was like calling me baby and love from like day one, and I think I told somebody about it, and they was like,
Was that me? You probably told me.
Maybe you. They was like, that's the sign she don't give a shit about you. Like, if she just, if you love, what's up, love? Good morning, love. Day one, like, it's probably 6 other dudes getting that same message or, hearing that same shit the same day. But yeah, to me, I can't do the casual thing. I'm a serial monogamous. Like, if I get in a relationship with you, I want this relationship to be, like, I want it to go the distance. I want it, and I've made mistakes in the past, like trying to make that happen or trying to look past certain things, to allow that to happen.
Like, I feel like I am too, probably for different reasons, but I feel like I probably be a serial monogamous too.
Maybe I will be one day, but
you young. I hate that we do that. Like, you young, man. You should just go out there, fuck everything, man. Get it all while you still can, man.
But in those situations where I did say just go for it, just do whatever, there's been consequences. Even if I went into it, motives clear, people caught feelings, they catch me out with my family and make a scene.
Ooh.
That was like stuff like that. You with someone for 48 hours, you're clear about what's going on, they don't feel the same way. Next thing you know, they in your face, all drunk, and your sister don't know she need to step in and knock the chick out. And
I gotta meet sis one day.
I see. That's exactly why I can't do this, because I don't know. I can't, just in my head, whether I know that P word again. I know it's all been there. It's something's been there before me, and something will be there after me. But like, I can't just like know that, like, I'm sharing that with somebody else.
Ah, yeah. So that's a good segue. Like,
fuck.
How do you feel about women cheating, or would you be able to handle, like, if you thought you was in love, or you felt like you loved this person, and they made a mistake, for lack of a better word, could you look past it?
No, because I've done it and I know what was going through my head. So
it depends on how far we're talking. If we're talking about, nah.
One of my ex, like, her mom was saying, like, her mom was having issues with her current boyfriend, and he cheated on someone in the past, and she was saying, psychologically, like, guys who show jealousy or, don't have high trust, that it's usually because they've done that same thing in the past.
Yeah, you project on others.
Yeah, you project on others, and I was like, damn. And then I do project, like, I didn't have a lot of trust in the relationship. I did go through the phone, didn't find nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? It's because I know, I don't know. It's a weird thing to talk about, but I know that I've done it before. And maybe it's even messed with me to the point where I can't trust nobody because I know I'm capable of it.
I gotta keep myself out of them situations because I know my temperament. And although I'm not a jealous person, I don't want to have to live like that. If, I find out some dude's running up on my girl, I will break a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
You go after the dude?
Even
I'm not gonna touch the girl, but I'll put my hands on the guy. That's just gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah.
So in the end, I'm just be the one to be punished for it, and it's just not worth it.
I used to say in the past, and it was fucked up, But I know eventually, if you can't say shit these days without it coming back to haunt you in some ways, I might as well face up to it. But I used to tell women, like, if you want to tell me that you cheating, you need to tell me that you cheated on me over the phone or someplace where you far enough away that I can't get to you quickly. It was like, I know I wouldn't be able to handle it. But I think a lot of that comes from, like, the way I was brought up and the way I was taught to, think about love and sex. Like, they used to say when I was a kid, like, that men use love to get sex and women use sex to get love. So it's like, to me, if you had sex with this guy, like, if you got physical with this guy, that meant you cared about him. Like, and I was more hurt by the fact that you wanted this other dude's affection or you cared about this other dude than so much that you slept with him. It's like, but that's why you did it. And then now it seemed like this new age woman, whether it's true or not, the way they playing it is like, nah, I can, it can purely be about an orgasm. It can purely be about a nut. That's all I was chasing. And, I don't give a fuck about dude. And y'all can tell me what you think about this. I was listening in on a woman's podcast, one of the group of women talking, and one of the girls was like, she's like, yeah, and you don't even have to, have sex with them for them to get mad. You just give a dude a head or something. And I'm like, that's so much fucking worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather you just have slept with him, suck his dick. Like, to me, that's a selfless act. You're not getting anything out of that. So you must have loved the nigga. Oh, you must have had something. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm more hurt. But it's seeming like, I don't know. I would love to have a female on the show. You can't call them females. I would love to have a woman on the show. I got in trouble for that. I swear to God, I got in trouble for that.
I had a boss tell me one time, I came in, I don't know how I worded it. I worded it in a completely innocent way. And my boss said, hey, you're going to have this guy work with you today or whatever. And I said, you mean that Mexican dude? And he looked at me, got real close, and said, Chad, you can't call him that anymore. Or you can't call him that. And I said, why not? They're from Mexico. And I don't get it. Why can't you call them females?
Like, women don't want to be...
they call us men.
They don't want to be narrowed down. Because a man, like the definition of, like, calling somebody a male is just pretty much, it's simplifying you down to your gender. I mean, like, being a man is more than just having a penis.
I told you about the black Jared.
What's that?
About the whole thing we talked about a year and a half ago. It's like, sometimes it isn't about just simple. Sometimes it's about convenient, not really convenience, but making things quicker. About it's like
being able to
narrow stuff down. Like, I could say that dude Jared over there, that dude. But if I see that black dude Jared, we're getting there a whole lot quicker. And we're not having to do this anymore.
You've done it. You remember we was at was it Trinity? We was at one of the houses, and I was around the corner or something like that, and you was trying to tell him that the chairman, the chairman was there, and you like. He was like, the chairman, and he was like, yeah, the black dude around the corner. Like,
I mean,
that was the fastest way to get
all I'm trying to do is to convey a point, and
I was the only black dude around the corner.
I mean, that makes it easier, and there's nothing negative about it. I ain't saying nothing negative about it. You are that black dude.
I am that black dude. I do like to be identified as black. Not a lot of people see that. But
what do they see?
Zay knows. Zay knows how they look at us sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure my whole Michael Cera thing last episode, it did not help my cause at all. And every time I do one of them things on Facebook where it was like, click here to see what celebrity you look like, it's always.
Who'd you get recently? I just saw that on Facebook.
I got Chris Hemsworth recently. I think before that I got like George Clooney or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember George Clooney.
Yeah, like, it never stopped. But I don't know, man. Like, in terms of relationships, And Chad has hooked everybody else up but me as whatever. I don't know how to take offense to that or not.
Who else I hooked up?
I'm not good enough for any.
Who else have I hooked up?
The little dude.
The Mexican
Logan?
dude.
Yeah.
That was pretty kind of.
And then you be talking about all the black girls at your job. Not once,
There ain't
Chad.
no black girls at my job. There's black girls at the job next door to. Well, I work for a company, and my company does work with another company, and all the black girls work for the other company that I have to pull up to quite a bit. But I don't know any of them like that.
You could get to know 'em.
They don't want to get to know me yet. I think the whole point of that conversation about those black girls we had was about how they really don't like me.
And I was trying to tell you, maybe if you introduce them to your black friend.
This is a setup. This is a motherfucking setup.
Maybe you introduce them to, fine young gentlemen like myself. I'm not young anymore.
Come on.
Nah, I'm done. Like I don't want to. I don't want to get to know nobody no more. I don't want to like introduce anybody to all my bullshit and have to pretend to be interested in whatever the fuck they talking about. And I hate the dating apps. I hate the fact that everybody profile is all the shit you don't click here if you this and don't click here if you next.
Yo.
I know a sweet, white girl, but she lightly drinks, so I haven't gone down that road because I know where you stand with that. So.
Oh, you can drink around me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I actually enjoy being around drunk people. It's fucking hilarious. Dude, this is entertainment. It's entertainment. I don't know yet.
Stacy, you hear that?
I don't know. It might be too much of a test of my sobriety. Who knows? I'm doing good these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate when people don't invite me to stuff because it's gonna be alcohol there.
Nah,
I don't need you to referee, motherfucker.
I wouldn't do that. If alcohol being present, but when we're talking about trying to put you on to something or whatever, and
yeah, I'll buy her drinks all night. Don't worry, chick.
I've bought people drinks since in my sobriety.
It's confessions. It's all coming out.
Yeah.
it's funny is the person I speak of works with Stacy or whatever. So and sometimes Stacy listens to the podcast at work, so they might figure it out. This might already be happening.
Shoot your shot. Saying. The answer's yes. Anyway. I don't know, man. So what, you got any plans for Valentine's Day? Sure.
I'll probably take Stacy. Probably not on Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day isn't important enough to me to try to beat that crowd on Valentine's Day. But me and Stacy will probably go out somewhere nice to eat.
What's the nicest thing you've ever
I'm
done?
gonna try to bundle that with Isaiah's birthday dinner, so I get a twofer.
You shouldn't have confessed to that. But this episode, I'll try to make sure the time is right. She don't know that it was your plan before.
Now, they'll get their own dinners.
What was the biggest thing you've ever done for Valentine's Day?
Oh, I don't know. I've had some jewelry made, some diamonds, stuff like
shit.
that. Nothing too crazy, which is a whole nother subject about why I don't buy girls' diamonds anymore. Every time I buy a girl diamonds, we end up breaking up. So I don't buy girls' diamonds no more.
How many girls have you bought diamonds for?
A couple.
We're gonna come back to that.
No, we'll probably go somewhere pretty nice, But I'm not a big flower person either. I'm not gonna go spend $150 on some flowers here.
I love sending flowers.
Do you?
my
Send me
shit.
some flowers. I wouldn't mind. What's up with that?
Chad. I don't know if this is a black-white thing. I don't know what the problem. But no, sir. No, sir. We gonna pretend like you never said that. Chad.
All right.
What about you, young boy? What was the biggest thing you ever
For
done?
Valentine's Day?
I know you ain't got no plans this year, but
I don't think I had. I can't remember a relationship I had around Valentine's Day. It was nothing
you can't remember
grandiose.
them already.
It was probably just maybe dinner or something.
I
Yeah.
think I've done like a tennis bracelet or something.
Yeah.
But that was like 5-6 years in. That was a long
Mm.
time before I put diamonds on. I'm trying to figure out what it. You know what I'm saying? I could, like the way you talk about, I can send you flowers. If you want to drop diamonds around, if you just dropping diamonds.
It's been a while.
And I did the tennis bracelet. I think I tried I got my ex-wife our engagement ring like 2 years into the marriage, and I bought it for Valentine's Day. But I'm horrible at giving gifts, so like it showed up before Valentine's Day, and I just couldn't hold on to it. So that. And you know what the fucked up thing about that is that she got remarried right around Valentine's Day, and on like the weekend that I knew what was happening, Google was like, "Oh, here's a picture from 5 years ago," and it was the fucking engagement ring.
Wow.
I'm like, thanks, Google. Appreciate you for kicking me in the ass. For no reason.
One more time.
One more time. But what's up with you and the diamonds, Chad? Why you just, tricking on these?
I had a couple things made.
You got them custom. You was going to
Custom.
Jacob.
Little 3-tier diamond thing.
God damn.
Yeah.
Balling.
So my family owns a bunch of
I forgot about that. Yeah.
pawn shops and whatnot.
And they own pawn shop. God
Wow.
damn.
Owns a few pawn shops, and so my mother made a call down to the pawn shop, and they sent it was like a pill bottle with diamonds in it. I got to pick out 2 or 3 diamonds, and then I went to my mom's jeweler and had him put in a custom setting, and then gave him to the girl, and girl ended up being a bitch. We ended up not together anymore. And like 5 years later, I saw her, and she's like, "Hey, I still got that $1,000 necklace of yours. Check it. It was just a bitter moment for me." It's like, yeah, well,
She had it on her?
no, I saw her at her house.
Oh.
I wonder what happened to that engagement ring. It wasn't crazy. It was a lot of money for me. It was probably the most I ever spent on jewelry before. But that's the whitest story you've ever told, Chad. His mom called.
Made the call.
Made the
Not the
call.
whitest story.
It's
Picked out the
I
diamonds,
don't
went to
know,
the family jeweler.
Right, the family jeweler. Like they got a jeweler and they got pawn shops and they got property and they got 2-wheeler vehicles that you got to get on to ride around the whole property.
4-wheel.
4-wheel, I'm sorry. 4-wheel, yeah. We was rather stable. We was riding over them hills.
Could have ridden the horses if you wanted.
And they got another pawn. They got a pawn and another pawn.
Got 2 pawns.
The 2 pawns. They got
And a
multiple
creek.
pawns. And a creek.
Man.
And a cemetery.
Yeah, we got
It's
that.
family
There's only one
cemetery.
person in it, but we got it.
I don't have a cemetery. I don't know nobody.
You know all you got to do to have a cemetery?
Land.
For
Put a
starters.
fence around.
I don't know nobody that got that much land.
It's not that big.
See, that's white. You see how white it is?
Acreage. We don't got
Yeah,
acreage.
yeah.
I'm still waiting on my
I
40
didn't have a
acres.
front
40
yard
acres.
most of my childhood, bro.
40 acres and a mule. Still waiting.
40 acres and a mule.
We're not even gonna go there on that. with the relationship black people have with this country, we made an agreement too. We had a marriage and all that type of shit. It's all legal. It ain't happening though. Moving on. How soon do you think it's too soon to tell a woman you love her?
Wait as long as you can.
God damn, Chad.
Damn, that's a whole nother thing.
I don't know.
How long you think it takes to know if you love somebody?
I don't know, man. My
Of course
curse
you
is
don't
3
know, man.
months.
3 months?
Gosh.
Hey, don't never tell nobody you love them in 3
If
months.
you want it to last, you wait.
You wait.
Any person I've ever told, like, 2 weeks into it or whatever, getting all giddy and shit, never lasts.
Never lied.
Damn.
That giddiness
That is
though.
soon, huh?
I don't even know if women like understand that we go through that too. That, like when we had that newness and it's a new relationship and you like her and it's a vibe. Like, yeah, you do be on that. Oh shit.
Happy as hell. I
Happy
was
as a
happy as
motherfucker. Yeah.
Got a little skipping your
You little
step.
skipping your step.
Hell yeah.
Your boys laughing at you.
You get nervous. You thinking of overthinking. You.
Your phone go off. I ain't miss a call, did I? And then 6 months later, you like, oh my bad, I was asleep. You never answer the phone.
6 months.
Damn.
3.
That's how you roll, Chad.
Mm.
That's how you roll. All right, how long do you think it takes before marriage is an idea? Before like commitment is an idea. I know.
Commitment's different. You should probably wait. To be healthy, you probably wait a year, or 6 months to a year before like commitment, moving, stuff like that, and probably a year to 2 years before you. I'd say you got to live together for at least 6 months before you get even talk about marriage. Maybe even longer. Maybe 6 months to a year before you even talk. Because if you don't know how somebody is when you're living with them, then you don't know exactly. You don't know them as well as you think you do. Living with somebody is much different. Matter of fact, the worst conditions you can live in them with is the more you know about if you'll be successful. Like, go live in the back of a car with them for about a month. See if that works out for you. If you can make it through that, then you make it through anything.
I don't know. It was my ex and I were together like I want to say 6 years or something before we got married. But it was like I don't want to make it sound like the only reason I married her was because I moved down here and I was living with her. But when I moved down here, like it took me a year to get a job. And so, like, my dad, like, my mom was talking about my dad and how he was living off women and doing stuff to women like that. It's like, when I moved down here and I knew I was going to be living with her and she was going to be paying for everything, it's like, at the moment I made that decision that I would do that, it's like, I can't do that unless I think, I could be with this woman forever. And so I kind of made the decision before I moved down here in, like, January, and then by September we were married. So I guess I lived with her longer than 6 months. I ain't even, like, the proposal was the worst proposal of all time. We was just sitting on the couch. And I was just like, you should probably get married. And that was it. Next thing I know. I don't understand how people do these long engagements. Like, from the moment I said, we should probably
that's
get
a good
married.
point.
And she was like, yeah, we should do that. It was like, well, all right, let's do it tomorrow. Like, I can't imagine being engaged for like a year, 2 years.
Why though? Is it just because they're thinking about that day and trying to plan that day?
I think they're trying to plan that day, or the engagement was like, or people just like that's giving like a fancy Valentine's Day gift. Like, I'm gonna get you an engagement ring for Valentine's Day. You're not really thinking about what that engagement ring means or what. People just want to have a fiance rather than a girlfriend or boyfriend. Yeah, I think a lot of the problem with how people view marriage and commitment and stuff has come from like us not giving certain words weight. Like, it's just something you say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is a wife? What is a fiance? What does that really mean when you say that about somebody? Like, I swear, like, to me, it was supposed to be forever. Like, I think I'm more hurt, not that I lost the person, but I lost the marriage. Like, I'm more hurt about losing the marriage and the commitment than I am necessarily about the person. Like,
The plan.
Mm. Like, yeah, like I said, bow, I'm gonna do this. I can do this. I'm gonna do it. We're doing it. And I didn't. She quit first, And I with good reason. I'm not saying she's a bad person. She had very good reason for what she did, but it wasn't supposed to be no quit, Chad. Quitting was not an option. It's forever.
Forever.
All right, young boy. Since you the single man or the single man that gives a fuck, tell the ladies out there what you're looking for.
You gotta be on that fitness.
Nah, well, honestly,
You gotta like the Care Bears.
yeah, ambition, or at least
You want somebody that's doing something.
no, not even
Or
just
trying to plan.
yeah.
It's about that plan.
And me personally, I know that I don't think I go with the grain in terms of what I want to do, whether that's want to say entrepreneurship or find my own way, but the whole American dream, house, family, dog, retire. That in no way is that what I want. So I at least need someone who is thinking along the same lines.
No, wait, is that what you want?
No. Like, seriously, like I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do my own thing, make my own living, retire early, and I'm not trying to, marry someone who is afraid of that risk, or be with someone who's afraid of taking that risk, or doesn't believe that veering off the path that so many others follow for security. And there's benefits to each path, but I just know my path. I want you to at least support it,
Quit it in life.
or be on the same lines. Because a lot of people, I don't know. It's a turn off for me when girls' ideas of success, right, don't line up with mine.
You don't want somebody settling.
Yeah, for life.
For life.
For like, that's like Isaiah don't give me no like jump off point to make a joke. All this shit be super deep.
I'm your joke.
Yeah, you joke, man. I be looking for a way to like find a way to segue that into something funny.
Care Bears.
Care Bears. Gotta like the Care Bears.
Physical, mental, spiritual. All those three gotta be in unison.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I'm not looking for anything. I don't even know what I would find like attractive. Like, you got to love music. Supportive, like, you know.
So have you been totally turned off to white girls?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I was about to say I've been totally turned off to people in the community, but nah, I don't want to do that. That'd be fucked up because I need somebody to take a chance on me. But I don't know, man. Like that, it turned me off to like. I realize now that I have to protect myself more. Like, I'm very much.
Gotta be happy with yourself. Gotta be about yourself before you're about anything else.
Yeah, but I'm a very giving person, and I want, like I said, I want shit to work out. I want you to be the one, and so I'll go into it just like I think in that last situation, I think I said to her at one point, I'm like, you my girl even when you're not my girl, because I think I did something for her at a time where she knew she was foul. She knew she was doing some fucked up shit, and I was still like backing her up or still helping her out. It's like it wasn't even about that. But at the same time, that just it put me in a fucked up situation. Like, and I used to hate when like girls that have been hurt would say stuff to me like the winner in the relationship is the one who cares less and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, you're supposed to go all in. But and that's why I want to go all in, but like times would change. I don't know. I think I got Neanderthal thoughts about relationships and women, and it don't work like that no more. Like my mom used to say shit like a woman can learn to love a good man. So there would be situations where like I'm just proving to you how good a man I am. Like you're not necessarily doing all the things that I think a good woman should do, but I feel like if you see how good a dude you have, eventually you'll come around. And people would just keep taking until they find something different, until you stop giving or they see another avenue. And yes, I gotta protect myself more. I'm getting jaded. That's why I just want to quit, because I don't want to look at women like that.
Can't be like that though.
I don't want to look at women like that. I don't want to look at women like I gotta guard myself from you. I gotta worry about what your intentions are. Like, that's not fun for me. Like,
you gotta go on it. Just trying to do the best you can. And turns out good, then good. If it turns out bad, step back up to the plate.
Nah, see, I'm just like I said, I'm like if you 23 and you playing basketball and you tear your ACL, you're gonna rehab and you're gonna play again. If you're 40 and you playing basketball and you tear your ACL, that's the last motherfucking time you play basketball. That's how I feel.
Fair enough.
All right. But this has been an enjoyable conversation. Very enlightening. Thank you, Isaiah, being the voice of reason at 23. You're supposed to say some reckless shit.
That's me.
But I didn't give you a chance to plug your stuff last episode. You want to tell people what you got going on?
Oh yeah, if you need any personal training, health coaching, go to livealphafitness.com. That's LIVALPHA Fitness. You can follow me on Instagram at Zaya Fitness, ZAYAH Fitness.
Yeah. So for all y'all who don't think I actually hang out with the dude, here he is in my house. I do know Zaya Fitness.
Eating vegan wings.
I ain't got shit to plug.
Looking at my treadmill in the corner. It's all good. You big bad motherfucking fantasy football champion Chad.
Champion himself in the flesh.
All right. We've been sipping on hop tea this whole episode. Hop Lark. I got the green tea one. You doing the calm one again.
Chamomile.
And he was on the Citrabomb.
Citrabomb.
Yeah. Good stuff. 0 sugar, 0 calories. No fermentation, so no alcohol whatsoever. Tea brewed like craft beer. It's pretty damn refreshing.
It's pretty good.
And that's high praise coming from big bad motherfucker Chad.
Chad doesn't do tea brewed like beer.
Do you just pull a Bo Jackson out of nowhere? Chad don't do.
Chad don't do tea.
But But yeah, this has been a good chat. I appreciate you guys coming out and trying to test out this video thing with me. But yeah, whatistws.com/store. You can get your hoodie. You can get your Just Ask hoodie. I got all kinds of hoodies.
For the algorithm.
Yep. You talked about the algorithm earlier. Coupon code hoodie season will get you 20% off your entire order. So that's HOODIESZN, 20% off. But yeah, until we speak again, be safe, be easy, be light, and know this, if you know nothing else, I love you. Holla.
Peace.
Peace.